causes to this. But before we go into the causes and what have you, how do you know that this is bipolar disorder? How do you know that this is probably schizophrenia as a disorder? How do you know all this?
Now with this bipolar, it is so much of the mood swings.
Okay.
Somebody will become so much excited, somebody will become so much low. When they are so much excited, they are also not afraid of doing anything and everything. They take
However
risks.
risky.
Yes, they take risks. Like now we are in Bugema, somebody may decide to walk from Bugema to Kampala and is very free and energetic by the way. That as you find him or her along the road, he seems to be jogging or seems to be just walking from here to some other place very close.
It is very serious.
And later on you
heading
learn
to the city.
Somebody walked and got to the city.
Mm.
So they are risk takers. That's why it is necessary that we know people around us such that if someone is in such a situation, you get to their rescue before maybe they take a risk that will destroy their lives.
So, what about schizophrenia?
Schizophrenia may be now another degree of the bipolar, but has so much of images in. You may have feelings. You may feel what other people are not feeling around. You may hear people shouting, but nobody hears them. Can't you hear them? They're shouting. They're making a lot of noise. Maybe when they are sleeping, you'll hear them having those dreams and they are shouting. But even when they are seated, they may tell you some people are laughing. Have you heard those people laughing? And none of the people around gets to hear such noise. But for them, they hear them. So
you are the one mad who doesn't hear.
To them, of course.
Yes, to them.
To them, that is now, you are mad. Why don't you hear what I hear?
Yes.
Yet they are very prominent. To them, they are prominent and they can hear them. If there are people making noise, if there are people shouting or laughing, they hear them vividly. And now they only wonder, what is happening with you? Why can't you hear them? So, until somebody has realized that I think this person has a problem, sometimes you may think now it becomes a real challenge when these are small children.
Yes.
If they are maybe primary going children, sometimes someone may think they are just stubborn.
They are acting childish.
They are acting childish. Somebody says, "Hey, I hear birds crying. Mommy, you feel these birds? Have you heard them?" Say, this girl is just stubborn. Like the parents
They're trying to play.
But when it persists, it is not joking, it is not playing tricks, but somebody has a problem that has to be attended to
in time.
Yes.
What could be the causes to these disorders, or what we have called the madness levels? What could be the causes?
Now, these causes may not be so much prudent that it is basically this, but there may be varying causes.
Yes.
But sometimes you may find it is a challenge in a family. It is hereditary.
Okay.
It can be heredited from the grandparents, and you hear, at least in every family, there is somebody who has such a challenge. It can be that. And then to other people, you may have life experiences that will trigger people to search.
Such that whenever something connected to that happens,
exactly,
it
reminds them of what happened. For example, when you have the massacre of people that happened in Rwanda,
and somebody was physically there,
there are some people who had their relatives all killed in front of them, slaughtered actually in front of them. So whenever that comes, they may black out, but they may have those cries of those people at that point they were being slaughtered, and as it always rings in their minds, it raises every time, and then you find they go off track completely. Then to others, still in experiences, it may be disappointment, it may be excitement, and then
Extreme.
somebody goes to an extreme and it creates that. So it may not be a definite cause, but there are multiple causes. And sometimes it may be now a mixture or a combination of
triggers.
of many triggers and creates that situation.
Okay. So how else, apart from what you have said, emotional, what those, or even hearing what others are not hearing or seeing, what could be the other ways you can tell that someone is stressed or is somehow mad?
Yeah, sometimes, like we said in the first case, you can have extremes of this person doing things that you may find this person, if it is sleeping, they may sleep almost through the day and through the night and is totally asleep.
Full time sleep.
But you may also find them losing sleep completely, and somebody is active during the day and during the night and wants to stay awake. But sometimes, of course, when it goes to the extreme, you'll find them now stripping naked, you'll find them fighting, you'll find them quarreling every time here and there with anybody, whether you've done something wrong to them or not. They find it, they have to quarrel with
You are a
everyone.
criminal.
You're a criminal. They may also be criticizing people for every slight mistake, every slight thing that someone does, and they will build on it and have it so magnified as if somebody has done something great. So when someone begins and does such things and it becomes a routine or part of him, part of her, then we need to check on to see, are we safe? Is this person safe? Or we need to do some help. Sometimes they may choose to be very extremely clean, that somebody will have to be bathing all the time. There must be water there. Someone decides to be bathing all the time. You step somewhere, they bathe, they clean the house every time. When someone comes in, they have to clean where this person has stepped. Even when the person has removed the shoes, they don't feel comfortable, they still clean. Somebody decides to bathe every time, that if in the last 5 minutes she had been to the bathroom, she'll come back and bathe. Then feel, I think this dress is not okay. She'll go back and bathe, put on another one. Then when it is the other side, it is worse. It will be no contact with water at all. They decide not to bathe, not to do any washing, and they are comfortable also with it. So that is now getting to an extreme.
My dear, that salute. This content is very heavy, and I feel we can't finish it. But then somebody says that they also overeat.
Yes, you may find some overeating, and you find that maybe someone, like maybe a teenager, you know this food, the level or the quantity of food someone has been eating, but you find has multiplied by 3 or 4, and can take all and comfortably, by the way.
And feel no stress thereafter.
Exactly. So it is sometimes it goes to those extremes, and if you have not noticed, now when it comes to teenagers, some people may think and may feel, that is the age they have to eat. At that age,
You
they
don't have
eat.
to shower.
If it is boys, they say boys don't
Showering.
normally like
We have been
showering.
showering this month.
So they may decide, they may think, it is normal. It is normal. Actually, save for the whites maybe, but with Africans, we tend to always incline to some side when there is an anomaly. Even the grandfather was like that. That cleanliness is because of so and so in the family, and we don't get the abnormality in the situation. Eventually, people will go mad, and we can't help the situation. There are some ladies or men you find on streets and they are mad. And when you look at them, when you observe what they are doing, you find that maybe the situation would have been rectified if
Yes, yes, yes.
it were not for neglect.
Mm,
But because people thought, even the parents were like that, maybe there are some things not well with him. Maybe the girlfriend did something, maybe the
yes, yes.
boyfriend. And we tend to take and carry the situation normal.
Yes, yes.
So in that, you'll find we go into a level that may not be manageable or may take now so long to be managed. Even when these levels may be managed, but when we go medically, of course, it is a combination of medical and psychological therapies. They go to counselors. To some of them, they may realize and try to now avoid those extremes, getting so much excited, getting so much annoyed.
Yes.
Some of them may realize, when I do that, I get challenges. So they try to avoid such situations.
Yes, yes, yes.
But to others, it is unavoidable, implying this person will take medication throughout their life.
Yes, yes.
It may be monthly, it may be depending on what the medical doctor has decided, and maybe to the level of this disorder. You may find that some people have to be on medication throughout their life.
Yes.
Others, when they learn to control these situations, by chance, they may go off the medication and instead they take control of their levels of excitement, of their levels of anger, and
Yes,
so
yes,
on.
yes.
Sometimes they avoid situations that would lead to that, like maybe going to cinema halls, maybe going for football, watching such that would create a situation that would lead now to such.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We have two more questions as we end this episode. Of course, you have seen that we have focused on the other side of stress, which is the stress is bad. We have not said. So somebody might be going to be overstressed because we have only talked about the bad side, and that's our focus for this episode. In the next episode, we shall do that. So as we end this episode, how can we create a great environment for these people to survive? For us to also survive without being bad on the, because we remember, don't hurt others, don't hurt property. How is it possible for us to create that environment?
Now, creating such an environment will call for us understanding one another and appreciating what they are. That when I know that Beatrice is one person who is short-tempered and you don't create jokes around when she's there, I try to appreciate what she is, learn her, and do the normal to her whenever I am with her. Avoid those other extremes. But of course, sometimes we also help them to learn and unlearn.
Those of us who think we are normal, not mad.
Exactly. Exactly. You help them to unlearn. Like, you may help someone learn to control their anger. Recently, I had somebody testifying. He used to be so hot-tempered. And then reading the Bible helped him to always learn to control his anger. And he was saying, today, I think I am one of the best people that even when you do something wrong, you may go away without noticing that I was hurt. So sometimes we learn to control our anger. People who hold grudges, we learn. Because when you read the Bible, one, it is one of the commandments that we should love our neighbors as we
As we
love
love
ourselves.
ourselves, yeah.
So if you love your neighbor, you're not going to get angry with him, with
Forever.
her forever. If they do
Don't
something
allow the
wrong,
day to go.
exactly. So when
Mm,
you read such scriptures
mm,
and you believe in the Bible,
mm,
somewhere, somehow, you'll talk to yourself and say, but I think this is not right.
mm, mm,
At another point, when you annoy someone, you say, oh, so I can also do this. Implying when other people do it, they don't intend, but it is
yes, yes.
just maybe Satan is making that people get
Mm,
me angry. So we help them
mm,
to learn who they are, learn to live with others harmoniously. You
yes,
cannot
okay.
live with another person unless you have learned who she
They.
is or
Mm,
he is. So you learn those different characters. The good thing today with the
mm,
new curriculum, they
mm-hmm,
have such topics
mm-hmm.
that will help them learn what other people are. Like they learn and they study about different cultures,
Yes, yes.
what they do.
Mm,
They also learn to appreciate their weaknesses and strengths
mm, mm,
as individuals,
yes.
as classmates, as tribes, and maybe to a large part of it as a country, if we have one that
Mm,
may
yes,
have
yes, yes.
such a character. So, in such, that is how maybe best we can do it, helping them to know themselves and know the people around them. But also, where you find
Mm,
they may be ignorant about something, you slow but sure, you take them
yes,
through such an experience and let them learn we are different, we can do things different,
yes, yes,
but
yes.
still live together. I am a girl,
Mm,
I must live as a girl,
mm,
and that does not mean that because I am a girl, I can't have certain opportunities, I can't do this or I can't do this.
mm,
And then
mm, mm.
somebody feels inferior because he's a girl, because he's a boy among
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
many girls. You
Mm,
learn,
mm.
you let them learn I am who I am because God has created
Created
me
me this way.
like this, and He loves me the
Yes,
way
yes, yes, yes.
I am. So that content in someone
Mm,
sometimes keeps them at peace. To know, yes, God loves me.
mm,
Mother loves me as I am.
yes,
Father loves me as I am.
yes,
So they
yes,
get that
yes.
content that however much maybe the surrounding may not be that good to them,
Favorable.
but someone loves me.
Yes.
Somebody cares about me. That keeps now the peace in someone.
And they can always run to them.
Yes.
So you say know them, know what hurts them, and don't go to the area that hurts them. To you say we can guide them into appreciating that they can still live in the environment without being stressed by those stressors that are to them.
Exactly.
So the last question is now your opinion.
Mm.
What is it you'd want the Ugandan child to be 10 years to come?
Well, I would love to see the Ugandan child, one, understanding that I
Mm,
am a Ugandan,
mm, mm,
or maybe to the highest bit of it, I am an African.
yeah, yeah,
And I appreciate that I am an African
mm,
who has maybe equal rights to God
mm.
as a European is.
Okay.
So we should not try to abuse, let go our culture, our entity,
Mm,
and
yes,
then
yes, yes,
get the entities of other people, identities of other people, because we
yes.
hate ours. So if we Ugandans
Mm,
would help our children appreciate their identities as Africans, as Ugandans,
and live the
love
identity.
themselves
Mm,
as they are,
mm.
then I think we would be well to go for the next 10 years.
Dear viewer, you have heard it from the horse's mouth. Today, stress is bad. You never know, tomorrow we shall be talking about how good stress is. This is a long topic. Please ask your questions, comment, share with those you think will benefit from this. And who knows, 10 years from now, will be a different Uganda, will be a different youth. You'll be a different parent altogether. Thank you so much, Beatrice, for sharing with us today.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Bless
We'll
you
want
too.
to have you another time.